Hi, lovely, and welcome to Women's Health with Katie. Now, today I'm going to be talking all about sustainable weight loss, and this has been such a major theme for me over the last couple of months. I was doing the Candida diet, quitting sugar, and decided to satiate my appetite by eating a ridiculous amount of nuts, about 600 calories worth a day. So, forgiven myself for all of that and moving forward, but now I'm on a bit of a weight loss journey. And I just want to make something really clear because I've said something about this on social media and I've had loads of really supportive messages saying like, oh my God, you're so skinny, you don't need to lose weight, you look great, you look fantastic. And, so lovely and I appreciate that so much. But it's not about me being in a really negative space about this. It's just about feeling a little bit more or feeling into having a little bit more of a tummy than I'm used to having and preferring being just a few pounds lighter. That feels better and healthier for me personally. So this kind of brings me to step one actually of sustainable weight loss, and that is having integrity around your body image. And for me, it's really acknowledging that like I'm not fat and having that conversation with my inner critic that's saying like, oh my God, you're so fat, you need to not eat, blah, 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 like that whole paradigm, which I get why the inner critic does that, but it's not helpful. So having integrity around your body image and saying, I'm not fat, I'm just a little bit over where I'd like to be, and I'm going to bring that back down in a way that is loving towards myself. And don't get me wrong, that inner critic still comes up every now and then. I walk past the mirror after having a massive meal and I'm like, whoa, I'm so fat. And then, come back to that conversation of no, I'm just a little bit uncomfortable with where I'm at right now, and that is okay. And the reason that why that is so important to sustainable weight loss is that an exaggerated mindset leads always, in my experience and many other people's, to exaggerated eating habits. So if we're telling ourselves that we are so fat when we really just got like maybe a stone or a couple of pounds that we'd like to shed, then we're going to be like, oh, I need to starve myself, and that then leads to binging because your body's like, what's going on? And then it sees food and it's like, ah. So step one, integrity around your body image is so important to get clear on that before you even think about cutting out certain foods or whatever, getting deeper into it. So then moving on to step two is to plan what you're going to eat. And this really comes back to staying away from that starving yourself and then binging mindset. So if you don't know what you're going to have for lunch and then it gets to, 2-3 o'clock and you haven't eaten, you are almost definitely going to reach for foods that are really high calorie and maybe not the most supportive for you, something that's like quick and easy, run into McDonald's, whatever it might be. Whereas if you've really planned out your week, your meals, what you're going to have on a Sunday, I always say it's a good idea to do it then. And then you come to lunchtime, it's 1 o'clock, you've got a really nice, healthy, nourishing, filling meal, not just like a few lettuce leaves on a plate, a good, nourishing meal to look forward to at lunchtime. That's so important. And I say lowish carb, not low carb, cut the carbs, because it's really important to have some whole grain in there or, whatever it might be for you, sweet potato. My mind's blanking on other carbs, rice, whatever. Anyway, get some carbs down you, but just don't make that the major part of your meal. So it's always great to put your veggies on first, put your protein on, and then have a little element of your meal, which is carbs as well. And that's going to help you stay really full and, but also not have your body relying on a massive plate of carbs for energy. So then it can start eating some of the fat that you've got stored. So finding that balance and just working out what feels right for you. I initially cut all carbs completely and then was just binging. So be mindful. Okay, so step one, integrity. Step two is plan. And just in with that plan, it's okay to snack if you don't, if you have 3 meals a day and then want to have a snack mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and even after dinner, if that stops you from feeling like you're starving and then binging on bad foods, then it's okay. I say bad foods, you know what I mean? foods that don't support your weight loss journey, then snacks are okay. Then moving on to step 3 is home cooking. And I cannot stress enough how important this is. You cannot be healthy and eat out all the time. It's just not possible. Restaurants, wherever you're buying your food, they put a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, and a lot of trans fats, that like the unhealthy vegetable, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, that are just really, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. So if you can get yourself prepping, doing all your shopping on a Sunday, doing a big cook on a Sunday night for Monday, Tuesday, doing a cook on a Wednesday night for Thursday, Friday, to get you through the busier times of the week. And then you can do like a nice fun meal Friday night, Saturday night, whatever you have the energy for. That really works well for me. So step 4 is scheduling your food. So knowing what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat it. So this kind of comes under the planning element. Planning was more about planning what you're going to eat. This is more so planning when you're going to eat, the time you're going to eat. Because if you start craving, like you skip your breakfast and then you start craving around lunch, or you skip lunch, you start craving around dinner, it's going to lead to not as desirable eating habits. And eating at the same time consistently every day is really great for balancing your hormones, your insulin levels, and just getting your body knowing, like, don't panic, you don't need to binge, we know that we're eating at this time of day. So really getting set on those times of day to help yourself out. Step 5 is deconstruct your cravings. So you've got all of these steps set up, you know what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat it, you're feeling great about all of that. You're satiated, but you're still reaching for a cookie. Why? So, and it's really helpful, this kind of goes against what I've been saying, but to just let yourself get hungry once or twice and really connect with what that feels like in your body, so that you can tell the difference between a genuine experience of hunger and needing food and using food as a tool to distract yourself from emotions that you might be struggling to feel, like stress or sadness, or to, give yourself a dopamine hit. Sugar's always really great for that, isn't it? When we're feeling a bit down, it's like, where's the chocolate? Where's the wine? Deconstructing cravings is all about being full from food and understanding why you're craving still. So it might actually be that you just really need some fresh air, you need to get out in nature. Usually it's that you're really thirsty. If you drink more than 2 litres of water a day, I'll try and get like 4 litres of water a day down me. That's what all the celebs are doing. So if you can get that going on, usually it's water. Sometimes it's not actually, especially during winter, it's not that we actually want hot food, but we're just really craving to warm up. So having a hot herbal tea can help a lot. Social connection, loneliness. If you're at home all day on your own, how much more do you eat than when you're like out and about connecting with people, having fun? Community is a massive aspect of sustainable weight loss. And other things like sex or whatever it might be. Sometimes it's that we're craving, or intimacy or love or hugs, whatever it might be. So just have a little think, do some journaling around it. Do I really want this cookie, or do I want something else? And what I always advise is to don't tell yourself that you're not allowed the cookie, but first get your journal out, deconstruct the craving, and then if you still want the cookie afterwards, have it. It's not about doing it perfectly straight away. It's just about getting to know yourself, getting to know your mind, getting to understand your habits, what your triggers are, and eventually this just filters out. So this brings us to step number 6, which is crowding out. And this kind of relates to deconstructing cravings. But the idea is to crowd out the cookies, it's just the example that I'm using, with other stuff that gives you a dopamine hit. So, for example, sweetened beverages are probably the most important thing that you want to cut out first on any kind of health journey. Like if you're having fizzy drinks, Coca-Cola, don't sue me, Coca-Cola, for saying that, but anything like that, chai lattes, they're just like a crazy amount of calories that will just send your body into like inflammation mode. And you probably don't realize this if you've been eating the amount of sugar that I did my entire life until I started looking at these kind of things. But sugar has this massive impact on your body, and it's ridiculously addictive as well. So the reason we say about crowding out is because it's so hard to stop having sugar, essentially, is the main one, that has been emotionally soothing you and satiating your shadow, like your darker sides, your stress. So if we try and just say, right, well, I'm just not going to have that anymore, like your willpower will only work a handful of times. It's not going to get you through the entire lifelong sustainable weight loss and then keeping that weight off journey. So yeah, crowding out, bringing in activities that give you that fun. So all the things that I mentioned, and I've been exploring dance classes, yoga classes, getting out and having fun with kids as well. Anything that makes you happy and that you enjoy. It might be artwork, creative expression, like whatever it is for you. Crowd out the foods that aren't supporting you with stuff that you love doing. And also just crowding out with other foods that are better for you. So you could try experimenting with like sweet potato desserts. I have a famous sweet potato brownie recipe, so if you want that, let me know. But yeah, so crowding out. And step number 7, the final step, is patience. And I've kind of touched on this already as well, but losing and keeping off weight is a lifestyle change. I trained at the what is this called? Institute of Integrative Nutrition, which is the largest nutrition school in the world, and they've got a huge body of research behind them. And they always say to people like me, nutritionists and health coaches that are training to work with clients, that it's so important to have a 6-month journey with your clients. Like that is the optimum time, because it allows for like implementing new habits and then backtracking and then devolving and messing up and then getting back on track. And it really does take, they say that 6 months is the optimum amount of time to really implement these lifestyle changes. But it can be less than that, and it can be more than that, and it can be 6 months and you do really well, and then 5 months later you get back off track and you want to do another 6-month program, or whatever it may be. But the research suggests that it takes about 6 months to implement these changes. So be patient with yourself. Don't expect to lose weight in 2 weeks. If you do lose weight in 2 weeks, a huge amount, then it's not sustainable. You'll probably end up putting on more weight than you were originally at, because your body goes into starvation mode and then slows down your metabolism. As soon as you start eating again, you put on more weight by eating the same amount of food. So sustainable weight loss is the way to go. So I just want to share a couple of things from some absolute legends. So Russell Brand, love him, read his book Recovery when I was quitting smoking, but it was really helpful for quitting sugar as well. And one of the mantras he brings forward is 1 day at a time. So don't look at your weight loss journey as like, oh, I'm never going to be able to eat chocolate again, like awful. It just needs to be looked at as like, okay, I'm not going to have any chocolate today, or I'm going to have like a cacao stevia hot chocolate today. Maybe I'll have a dairy milk one tomorrow. Like just take it 1 day at a time, much more manageable, much more doable. And the other part is from Atomic Habits, and I think the author is James Clear, and his mantra is never twice. So it's okay, you mess up one day or one weekend, whatever it may be, and you have a ridiculously yummy, indulgent meal, but never twice means, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm not going to say, oh, I'll start again on Monday. Just never twice, never 2 days in a row, or never 2 weekends in a row, whatever that means for you. And I think, that is something that's really helped me be kind to myself and forgive myself for having a day or a meal where it hasn't really gone to plan. I forgot to plan my lunch, and I did end up getting, I don't eat McDonald's to be honest, but whatever I ended up going into the organic shop and buying a block of feta. I did that a couple of days ago. So that's okay. It's okay. It's just all about keeping going and being kind to yourself. So as you're probably aware, we are in an obesity pandemic. One of the top comorbidity for COVID at the moment is obesity because of the way that COVID responds with fat cells. So this is a really huge issue for a lot of people. And obviously it helps me out if you share this, but I think it would be really cool if everyone that watched this shared this with one other person and got people approaching their weight loss and their health in a really fun and sustainable way. So that's my challenge to you. Share it with one person if they are open to it. Obviously not someone that's not trying to lose weight. Be mindful about who you're sharing it with, obviously. But that would be really cool. Give it a like if you found this helpful, and also drop in the comments which of the 7 steps was most like, yes, that's going to help you so much. So just to run back through them real quick. Step 1, integrity. Step 2, plan. Step 3, cook. Step 4, schedule. Step 5, deconstruct cravings. Step 6, crowd out. And step 7, patience. Okay, thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you at the same time next week. Now, just a quick little side note, I'm buying a new phone later and we'll be able to film in HD, which I'm super excited about. So I'm going to be doing a little opening ceremony to reopen the Facebook group and bring in a little sprinkle of witchy magic. So yeah, I'll be either doing that tonight or maybe on Sunday night. So keep an eye out for that. I'll post it in the group and it will be up to view whenever you want to view. And the idea is to open the Facebook group with that, but also channel through like a new opening for you, a new start. I know like we're kind of past the new year, new me, but around about February is when those New Year's resolutions start to go a little bit off track. So let's do another new year, new me, open up the circle, open up the space, and just see where it takes us. Okay, from my heart to yours, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.